Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome back to the Journey Manager. We have a massive episode today where we are taking on the big dogs in Malaysia, but to start things today, I thought we should put our progress so far with this club in a little bit of context. Of course, we are managing Immigration FC. We are still over 6,500 miles from London, and that's hypothetically if I was to go in an exact straight line, which naturally I'm not able to do because I can't manage teams in the ocean. Now, to be fair, it is still relatively early days here in Malaysia. We're only in our second season, but today's opposition are the team that are gatekeeping the all-important 1,000 miles for winning the league. And I am going to have to make a call at some point as to, is it actually worth trying to take down Johor Darul, or do we maybe look for our next logical move? Now, we have got currently 1,876 miles in the bank. That gives us a pretty nice movement radius. Of course, there is Thailand and Vietnam. There were certainly options before, which are still very much options. I think Thailand would probably be the less of a distraction in terms of a detour. But naturally, I do look at countries like Myanmar and Bangladesh and just think they could be options too. Bhutan, Nepal, all loaded in. Of course, India is certainly an option as well down the line. But yeah, I feel like I have got to start to think ahead just a little bit. It's very easy to forget with this save game. The whole purpose is to get back to London and win the Premier League before, well, Mark retires. Speaking of Mark, on international duty today for the biggest game of the season. So plan of attack for today, we're going to play Johor Darul. I feel like this is going to be a good test to just see, do we actually stand a chance of dethroning them? If we get beaten by them, I probably start to have some kind of crisis. And I will just ask you while you're here, have you ever seen a league table as close as this after 4 games? From 4th to 14th, separated by 1 point, the team we're playing today, Johor, they've won all 5 games out of 5. They're just running away with the league. And I think that's quite normal here. One last Journey Manager episode to end the week. Let's run the intro and get straight into things. Yes, gang, I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. A warm welcome back. As I already said, if you are enjoying the series, please do go down below, leave a like, and help support the series. Views have been dropping a little bit. That's to be expected when we're managing, well, in the second division of Malaysia. But at the same time, if you are wanting to see more content like this, it's a way that you can ensure it gets fed into more people's algorithms, and maybe we do more experimental stuff like this in the future. Now, since last episode, 2 games played in the league, 1 played in the cup. The plan of attack for today is to play the game against Johor Darul, and then play maybe another month and come back in a month's time for another single game, kind of catch you up on all the stuff in between. Now, since last episode, we've not actually won in the league. We've got a draw against the Malaysian University, an XG of 2 for us. We didn't score, and to make things worse, Izzy, who of course got man of the match in the second game last episode, the left wing back, he got injured. He's still injured now. We then lost to Kedah 2-1. I feel a little bit hard done by in this game. We came back from behind to draw level. They got a goal in the last 20 or so minutes, and I think when you look at the stats, there's a trend emerging here. We play really well, we just don't score enough. And I'll tell you what, I'm a little bit ashamed to admit that in the FA Cup against the team 2 divisions below us, it took this strike, which was stupendous, in the 95th minute to get through. We ended up winning 3-4 against MOF. They play so many divisions below us. If I'd lost this, I never would have lived it down. I did rotate the team ahead of today's league game, but still I thought we'd do better. If I want to try and find a crumb of comfort, the Fat King scored in that game, so that's the positive I'm going to choose to take. Now, I already did show the league table, but Johor Darul are just running away the league. As for ourselves, we're down in 11th, but things are so compact down here, it could all change rather quickly, such as, if we lose by a few goals in this next game, we may well find ourselves bottom of the league, which I really don't want to happen. Now, just for a little bit of context, here is the Media Dream 11. Every single player in the team, except Mark, is a player who plays for today's opposition. They are just that much better than everyone else. Before we get into this game, though, we do need to do an away day to the Stadium Sultan Ibrahim. If I'm not mistaken, I have done this away day before. I feel like I scored it really highly and it was very fun, so let's go visit it again. So for today's away day, we are heading back to where this save game started. Not quite Singapore, I'll admit, but just north of the border to Johor, and just over here, there is a football stadium. Here it is in all its glory. Look at the car park. Look at it. Drink it in. Also, and I can't remember if I spotted this when I did this away day before, the roundabout has a football carved into the hedges. Wow. Look, maybe I'm an easy man to please. Look, from this view here, no one would ever know what this thing is. It's a football. And here's the stadium as well, which looks a little sci-fi, doesn't it? This might be the greatest entrance to a football parking section ever. They have zones for the parking and they say how many seats are free. And then you just drive on in, palm trees galore, parking everywhere. Oh, this just makes me happy. Here they've got the football headquarters just next to the stadium. I don't know what happens in the football headquarters, but it looks a little bit sci-fi villain Larry, doesn't it? Even the entrance section to this stadium just looks very, very nice compared to every other stadium we've looked at in Malaysia. None of them have looked this clean and just modern. I did spot here there is fast food in the stadium. Can I go have a look at the fast food? Where are we? What's happening? I'm getting weird deja vu here because I've definitely done this pin before. There's just a wood-fire pizza store here. Is the food good? Food? Is the food good? This is what we care about. I can't tell. We do also have drone footage. Apparently in Malaysia, every football stadium has drone footage. I've never seen it with such consistency on away days. Here's the area around the stadium. The stadium itself has the football roundabout and then just drink in the car park. Look at it. Malaysia just does car parks well, and it makes me happy. If I am going to mark down the stadium, no footage actually of the inside of the stadium on a match day. JDT fans, please sort that out. Now, as I mentioned, I already did this away day. I have no idea what I scored it before. Maybe my parameters just have changed. Maybe I'm a harder man to please now. Today, I'm feeling nice. I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10. Now, as I already alluded to, somewhat suboptimally, we've actually got a few players on international duty for today's game. Yeah, I thought the game would get rearranged. It hasn't been. Mark is away on international duty with Singapore. The King of the Fat is away on under-20s duty. And the centre-back, who's the whole reason I decided to play a free at the back, and who, to be fair, has been improving a lot lately in Ong, has also ended up on international duty for Myanmar, which is annoying. So what does it mean in terms of team news? Well, it means that Iqbal Azmi is going to get the nod against Johor today. This guy, very, very good indeed. Of course, our starting centre-back last year, maybe a bit unfortunate not to be starting more often. And Nasrullah Zaki is going to be the man who steps up and tries to fill the big old boots of Mark. And I'll be honest, if you compare him with Mark, he is a little bit of a downgrade. If I do want to find a positive, we're taking on a wounded animal today because JDT have also got a load of players on international duty. Maybe this is the best time I could possibly be playing them. Look how many players they've got out. Look, I'll admit, before I just checked that, I didn't really think about the fact that they'd have half their team on international duty with Malaysia. Maybe we're the favourites for this game. What I will say is it does kind of invalidate the whole reason I was going to do this game, which was, let's see if we're actually capable of even getting remotely close to taking down this team, because they are going to be kind of gatekeeping so many miles that we potentially need here in Malaysia. Okay, they are playing a 4-3-3. We're playing our 5 at the back. We'll have an early chance here. Andrino can't keep the header down. Okay, chance for them here. Tahir's going to dink it in. Azrin heads it away nicely, but only as far as Mamba. Tahir with the ball lays it back. Yeah, we are going to have to be at our best here. I know they've got a lot of younger players that they've been forced to bring into the team for this game, but make no mistake, even their youth players are like all the best young players in Malaysia. They are certainly going to give us a stiff test, and well, they're already showing that really inside the first 15 minutes. They are, as you can see here, dominating the ball quite nicely. We've had 29% of possession. I suppose that is in line with the way in which we're trying to approach games here. Not the highest line of engagement. Invite teams to play a high line against us, then hit them on a counter. Of course, to do that, we've got to be able to sponge the pressure, and we have not sponged it there. Azrin Afik scores. It won't count. Okay, we're still in it. Was just looking through their team here. They've got players like Strelly Mamba here. I mean, that's just a scary name, isn't it? Strelly Mamba, the right back that can also play at striker for them. I'm scared. Samare here's 33, 65 caps for Malaysia. He's very good. And on the right wing, they've just got like a 17-year-old who's got multiple caps and an international goal for Malaysia already. Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Corner for them here. Whipping it in. You can see it's a packed house here. Clearly the fans know there's a great game on offer. Or maybe they're all just watching Malaysia's national team on TV. Oh my word, how has that not gone in? They've hit the crossbar, it's hit the underside and bounced to safety. All I'm saying is we've not conceded inside half an hour. I think that's a small win in itself, although there might be more to deal with here. We head it away from danger just about, but it does feel like we're kind of hanging on by the skin of our teeth, doesn't it? Jung wins it nicely. Dowd, Ayman. This is how we have to try and score, I think, on the counter. Well, never mind, that's just gone out of play. 32 minutes played. If I was hoping that their chances were going to fizzle out, it's not really happened. Abdullah plays it in, and Strelly Mamba scores. The fact that this was the best time to play them, loads of their players are on international duty with Malaysia's national team and the national youth team, and they still are just dominating the game. It is a bit concerning, isn't it? It does make me think, is the league just always going to be beyond us? I mean, there's still the FA Cup here in Malaysia. I feel like we could fluke it over a single game, but how long do I spend in this country bashing my head against the wall trying to take them down? And perhaps more importantly, as we're a goal down at the break, I need to try and keep this team up. If I get relegated, whilst there's no special rules around it, that is going to impact my ability to get my next job, isn't it? You've been terrible so far, sort it out. I mean, yeah, we'll go with that. I think I am going to make a semi-radical change here at half-time. I'm actually going to switch, I think, to a diamond kind of 4-1-2-1-2 like we used last year and just give it a little bit of a go. This is definitely one of those situations where I really wish I'd saved last season's tactics so I could just load it up, but I didn't have that foresight. Okay, Faisal No is coming into the team to play at centre mid on attack. The 17-year-old who was a bit of a meme last year for just always being Mark's understudy who wasn't very good. He's actually been improving a lot lately, so let's give him a chance. I have made the decision here to sub off Andrino, but what that does open up is a free slot for a foreign player to come in. So you know what? Lorenzo Napoli coming on for his live commentary debut. In possession, focus the play through the middle. Let's play narrower if we can, and just try and make something happen here. I mean, on the one hand, I'd love to come back in this game. I'd love to now get a result with the change of system. On the other, it would give me a little bit of a headache where I start to question, should I just revert back to last season's tactic if we now come back in this game? They've got a free kick at the edge of the box. Mamba already has one goal, and they've hit the crossbar for the second time in this game. An hour played here. I mean, the good news is it's only 1-0, and actually, we have had our fair share of chances. Our XG's kind of close to theirs. I suppose the bad news is this was the best time ever that I could possibly be playing them, and we've not really looked like scoring yet. But you know what? Maybe Azri the Small can inspire something from the back. Azrin to Ahmed Zafri, plays it forward. Can we make something happen here? Azaruf playing it down, well, the near side, and just running straight into danger, and suddenly they're on the counter-attack yet again. I dream of the day that we stitch together two passes and can go on an attack. Maybe that day can happen here. Azaruf bringing it forward. Gets dispossessed, but Ahmed Zafri's there to pick up the pieces. Azaruf plays it forward. Dowd in behind. Oh my word, we've actually scored. Dowd, who was our top goal scorer last year, pops up with a massive goal. I'll be honest, it wasn't exactly spectacular, was it, as far as goals go? To be fair, the finish at the end was really nice. This through ball was delightful. And with a little bit of pressure on his shoulders, on the outside of his right foot, he's took that in the roof of the net. 15 minutes left of this game. Let's make some changes. Jung hasn't been at his best. Shahel Fikri on you come. I've not really given him too many opportunities this year. He's going to get a chance now. Zaki's looking a little tired in the centre of the midfield. So you know what? We'll bring in Danel here, who's just a man who can run quick and is kind of a box-to-box midfielder of sorts. I feel like my mantra here at Immigration FC has been, can you run quick? Like, because if a player's above average speed, especially with this kind of system, where we're looking to make runs from a deeper position, that's kind of important. I realise there's 2 minutes left. It's still 1-1. They've won all 5 games to start the year. This would be a great point to get. Why have I said anything? Why have I said anything? Oh my word, we've got away with it. It's been blocked. We clear it away. There's 2 minutes left. Football Manager, blow the whistle. Look at the heat map, by the way. They have absolutely battered us in the wide areas. We've crowded out the middle. They've played the ball in the wider areas, but not been able to penetrate. And somehow we've got a point. Now, admittedly, was it a point against their team whilst like all their good players are on international duty with Malaysia? The answer is yes. Let's not let that ruin the narrative, okay? Let me have this moment. And with that result there, we climb up to the dizzying heights of 10th. Admittedly, we've played the teams in 6th, 5th, 1st and 2nd already this year. The team we were promoted with last year in PDRM, they're up in 3rd. They're making me look like a mug. Now, as I already mentioned, because we've only played 3 matches since last episode going into this match, but I really wanted to take on JDT in a video, I'm going to hop forward a little bit, play a load of Football Manager, and join you at some point in the undecided future for another game today. Who are we playing? Who knows? Future Jack, good luck, Godspeed, take it away. So I did and ah a little bit about what game to come back for, but I decided maybe we should focus on the domestic cup here in Malaysia. We have the Malaysian FA Cup, which, well, today we're taking on a team in the division below us, which were actually relegated from the Super League last year. But I was also looking at other teams in Malaysia, and there seems to be a competition called the Challenge Cup. Only 16 teams play in this. It's not been drawn yet. I don't know if we appear in it or not, but that's a cup competition we can maybe win. If you've managed in Malaysia, please let me know what this competition is. No, my luck, it'll just be a competition we're never actually going to play in, and I'm just going to learn that the hard way, but break my heart gently if that is the case. In terms of results since your last day, we've played 5 games in the league, following on from the JDT game, and as you can see here, we're unbeaten in these games. A 2-1 win was nice, 0-0 against PDRM was not too shabby. Against Harini, one of the few really convincing results of the year, the dominant team in this game, granted a sending off in the 57th minute did make things easier. Against Penang, we won 2-1, which was a good little win. You can see here, Ong with the penalty. Yes, this centre-back is my best penalty taker in the team. And most recently, we got a draw against Kuala Lumpur. Jung with the all-important goal here. This guy I really thought was going to be this revolutionary striker for us. He actually had a little bit of a goal drought. He has got 2 goals in his last 3 games. I really needed to kick on, because on paper, he is one of the best strikers in the league. Now, I know what you're thinking, 5 games without defeat, Jack. That's really, really good. And I kind of agree, yeah, it's not bad. Until you realise those 5 teams are in the bottom 6 in the league. So as good as our form's been in the last month, it is a little bit of a false reading. And whilst you can argue, well, you can only beat the teams that get put in front of you, and that is a completely valid point, I think when you look at our players' recent form and average rating for the last 5 games, you kind of see that we probably should be playing a little bit better. Now, as I mentioned, today we are going to be focusing on the Malaysian FA Cup. This is a cup competition we definitely do get to play in, and if we just look at the rules of the competition here, you can see we're currently in the 2nd round. We're only actually 4 rounds away from winning the whole thing, which would be very, very nice. And for as good as JDT are, they have on occasion struggled to win this. In fact, they've not won this competition in the last 4 years. So this might be my best chance of getting 500 miles during my time in Malaysia. Now, today's opposition are Penang. They are currently 2nd in the division that we were just promoted out of. Last year, they were actually relegated from the Malaysian Super League. If we just look at their key man here, he has the first name S. Brilliant. Okay, this makes even less sense. His name is Safasavam, but he just goes by S. There's a / in his name as well. Nothing makes sense in this country, and I'm scared. Someone come give me a hug. Now, as much as I was tempted to do a second away day today, I want to remain focused on the task at hand. We need to go into this FA Cup game and put in the best possible performance. In terms of team news, everyone's available, which is obviously really, really good news. Also pleased to report that I have been sticking with the 5-3-2. I have, however, loaded up a pass save game, exported my old tactic from last year, so I have now got that as kind of an emergency plan B. But I suppose, as is indicated by all the links between players, we are actually gelling quite nicely with this new tactical system. The match squad should have no more than 4 foreign players, currently 6. League rules in Asia. League rules in Asia, eh? Right, sorry Lorenzo Napoli, you can't be on the bench, and King Fat, you've got to make way as well. So I'm allowed 4 foreign players. 3 of them have to be from, well, outside of Asia. There's a limit on non-Asian players, but I think Ong can be a 4th player in the team. He can be. There's always a nervous moment when I hit submit team now that I've missed something in the rules. Okay, for this game, they are playing a 4-2-3-1. They've won their last 3 games in a row. They're not rotating their team too much. This might be a tricky one. I mean, of course, naturally, I'm hoping it's not going to be tricky, but it does feel like there's not a massive gap between the 2nd division in Malaysia and kind of the lower-end teams of the Super League. And whilst I'd like to think we're not one of those lower-end teams, as we've seen in our last 5 matches, we've not exactly run away with all that many matches. I suppose today would be a great chance to get a confidence-building win. Izzy at left wing-back with the ball in. Jung with his 3rd goal in 4 games. Our Brazilian striker went, I think, 6 matches without scoring a goal. There was a little bit of a concern there. He's popped up with a massive header, and the Syrian goal had no chance. There's now a kickoff highlight. I'm sat here thinking, have I picked the wrong game to come back for? You know, should I have picked a more difficult game? I thought this might be a difficult game, and obviously with it looking like the league title's going to be beyond us, and with it being relatively early days in the league season, I thought, let's focus on the cup. Let's see how we do against maybe a slightly inferior opposition. I feel like that is a good test in itself. And, well, right now we're passing the test. Jung's in behind. His shot is blocked. It should have probably been 2-0 there. It's still not cleared immediately away from danger. A-Man is going to try and keep it alive. He flips it in. Dowd scores it off the post. It's 2-0 inside 3 minutes. With these videos, there are periods in the match where I just don't commentate and cut it out. After we had the shot blocked, I almost stopped talking, thinking, that's the highlight done. I'm glad I didn't. We've made it 2. I mean, it's the 8th minute. We're on the attack again. This team is 2nd in the division that we were in last year. They are not a bad little team, but we are making them look distinctly average right now. It has just dawned on me that because they play in the division below us, they're not allowed any foreign players. So the fact that we've got all these Brazilians playing in our team probably isn't very fair. But you know what? Life's not fair. Welcome to Malaysia. The shoe was on the other foot last year, so I'm not going to feel bad for them. And we're on the attack here. A-Man gives it to Ramos. The defensive midfielder, back to A-Man. Mark is through. Mark's behind. Mark bottles it. I thought this game was going to be an absolute rout when we took the lead like we did. It slowed down a little bit, but before half-time, I thought we could have another. Young's missed another chance. He could have had a hat-trick today. Okay, half-time in this game. The 2 early goals really set the tone. They've not yet had a shot on target. I have to be relatively pleased with this. You know what, considering we took on JDT earlier, and last episode we took on teams predicted to finish, I think, 3rd and 4th, it's nice to take on a smaller team and just see how we fare against them. This 5-at-the-back system, I do think, gives us a really solid foundation. We're creating a lot in this game. They've not had a shot on target. I was hoping that we might score a few more so I could make some rotation happen sooner. But given there's 20 minutes left here, let's rotate things around. I really thought at 2-0 inside 3 minutes we were just going to have one of these crazy games where we score every chance that we have. I'm now grateful we took those opportunities early on because the game has fizzled out just a little bit. It's going to finish 2-0 here. Not as convincing as perhaps it looked like it might be. I'm man with man of the match. I guess when you look at the match facts and the momentum, I can't complain too much. Selangor are one of the better teams in the country. They were knocked out after extra time. That's quite a good result for us, I think. Harini, we beat recently in the league. I suppose in this competition there's going to be this big question mark over have JDT been knocked out or not. And when they're knocked out, then we can start to celebrate and dream. I mean, don't get me wrong, great to get through the second round. Quarterfinal draw happens tomorrow. I need to avoid JDT. Okay, I am nervous for this one. There is only one team outside the top division still in the competition, and that is Perak. We have dodged JDT, and Terengganu playing them is quite good. We're not going to get the opposition who are in the division below, so we're going to take on someone in our own league, and that team is going to be Sabah, who I've not really uttered the name of, but they are currently 3rd in the league, and they are the 2nd best team in the country. They finished 2nd the last 2 years in a row. Their key man is a Brazilian. Tell me where you've heard that before. Now, I'll be honest, that cup draw, nothing short of disastrous, if I'm being completely honest. That is going to be really tough next time out. So away day fans, next week to start things, the stadium, like us. And if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure to like us and subscribe. That didn't even work as a pun, did it? Folks, thank you so much for the support on the series, as always, especially if you got it to the end of today's video. Bit of a mixed bag in terms of the 2 different teams we took on. I suppose the good news is we are looking reasonably competent in the league. Easy to forget, it's only a 26-game season. We're already halfway through it almost. Next time out, full focus is going to be on the FA Cup. Let me know what you think about how I should be approaching the next couple of seasons. Should I already be looking for my next job? Should I be trying to get a bit more of a foothold here in Malaysia and give it maybe another go for a year or 2? Interested to know your thoughts down below. Besides that, have a lovely weekend, enjoy yourself by being disciplined, and I'll see you next week for more. I'm out.